Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you've ever seen me, my name is Desmond Z. So, I have been up, I have been down all throughout this year when it comes to reading. It seems that the heavens above waited. They waited until the last minute, the 11th hour. They waited until the sun was almost set on 2024 to bless me, to bless your boy with the best book that he's read all year. Don't Cry for Me. This isn't the book. I read this in 2022, loved it, haven't shut up talking about it. I even have a picture of it on my wall. But Don't Cry for Me, I read this book back in 2022, like I just said, and I loved it. I haven't shut up about it. It is getting a sequel, which will be published January 28th, 2025. Now, Don't Cry for Me is about a man named Jacob. He's dying, right? He's dying on his deathbed, and he's writing letters to his son, really apologizing for being a bad father, apologizing for being too hard on him, apologizing for being verbally, sometimes physically abusive to him and his mother, and just all the things that he's done wrong, but also letting him know why he was the man that he was when he was raising Jacob and when he was married to Jacob's mother. Now, in Isaac's song, we get Isaac's point of view of everything, how he dealt with the way his dad treated him, how he's now dealing with his dad being dead. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler. If you haven't read Don't Cry for Me, I literally just told you the very first sentence. As Jacob lies dying, he begins to write a letter to his only son, Isaac. So he's dead. He's gone, kicked the bucket, gone to glory, R.I.P., deceased. Okay, so don't worry, it's not a spoiler. The man is dying. We know he's going to die, okay? But in Isaac's song, we get Isaac's point of view on how he felt about everything, what he was going through, what he's doing now that his father is gone and he's living his life trying to come to terms with everything that happened to him. And it was nothing short of amazing. It was nothing, and it's crazy because all year, like I've read some good books this year. I definitely have. I read some good books this year, but hands down, this is one of the very few that grabbed me, and I didn't want it to let go. I did not want it to let go. We see from the time Isaac is a young boy until his adult years. As a grown adult, he's in therapy. He's talking to his therapist about being a young gay black man growing up in the 70s and 80s, and how he's living now as an adult in the 90s and so forth. He's very close with his mom, but then at the same time, Isaac talks about how he only saw his mom as a means to an end. Like, there's a point in the story where he says that, oh, I just expected her to wash the dishes after I used them. I just expected her to do my laundry. I expected her to be home when I got there after school, and I didn't really recognize, it didn't register to me that she may have dreams and aspirations of her own that had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with my dad. So even though he loved his mother, they had a great relationship, they had a great relationship, it still, he just saw this woman as a utility, basically, in his life to, do things for him. And he didn't fully appreciate her for who he was, even though in his eyes, I loved Mom, we were close, and there was nothing I wouldn't do for her. And yet you weren't really doing shit for her. So it shows that you can still have those blind spots, even though you truly, deeply care for a person. And it was just, I feel like I'm all over the place, but just know I loved this book. Now, there is a point in the story where Isaac, he's a creative, right? This main character, he's a creative. He loves to dance, he loves to sing, he loves to write, like all of these things. But his father wants him, you smart boy, go to school and get your learning and be an engineer or a professor, do something worthwhile. How is dancing gonna pay the bills? Like that's his father. That's the type of father that Jacob is. And so, but Isaac is very much a creative. So once he starts writing, you see that his writing does kind of become a metaphor for the life that he's living, and the story itself starts getting told through that at a certain point. I feel like that's not really a spoiler. Is that a spoiler? No, it's not. It's not. He's a creative, and so obviously his art starts to, you know, mimic his life. And then there does come a point where, you know, the novel itself gets told through that, and I wasn't fully feeling that completely, but it didn't ruin the novel for me. It didn't ruin the story for me, because for like 95% of this novel, I was in it to win it. And I thought this was a beautiful story. It tells what it means to be black, what it means to be gay and black, what it means to be a young gay black man. And the story of between a father and a son, a mother and a son. Like this whole well-rounded story. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. The writing was amazing. And Daniel Black, you didn't fail me. Daniel, he wrote Don't Cry for Me. He wrote Perfect Peace, Now Isaac's Song. There is another novel. He has more writing, but these are the only 3 that I've read by him. And it just, yeah, did not disappoint. The best book I read this year, hands down, and dare I say, one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. What more can I say? Black Cake. Black Cake, another book that I have not shut up about. Another book that I have a picture of it on my wall. Another book I would highly recommend you read because it's top tier. The author of this book was published, 2022? Yeah. The author of this book has finally, Charmaine Wilkerson, Charmaine, if you're listening, come on home to me, Charlene. I know the name of that song is Charlene, it's not Charmaine. But the author of that book, Charmaine Wilkerson, she has a novel that is about to be released. The release date for that novel, hold on one second. On the publishing website, it says January 28th as well. So this ain't Good Dirt is Good Dirt and Isaac's Song being published on the same day. That's a great, so that's a great day for reading. That's a great day for publishing, okay? So you had a good day, you turn your lamp on, yeah, it's gonna be a good day, not a bad day. It's gonna be a good day. Anyways, the author of Black Cake, she's releasing a new novel, and it's called Good Dirt. Now, I got an advance copy for that as well. Like, it's been, like, Merry Christmas to me, okay? Merry motherfucking Christmas to Desmond, okay? So shout out to NetGalley and Penguin Random House for, you know, giving me this art for Good Dirt. This book comes out, like I said, January 28th is what it said on the publishing website. I'm not finished with this one. I'm not finished. So this is just like more like a preview. I have a full review of this in my year-end like wrap-up video, which will be published, which I'll put out next week. But Good Dirt is about this girl named Ebby. She suffered a tragedy when she was younger, and she's now dealing with she's been dealing with the residuals of that tragedy for basically her entire life. Okay, the lighting was starting to get a little off for me, so I had to fix that. Also, okay, so I feel like I was speaking in code and trying to avoid giving a spoiler, but literally it's in the synopsis. Okay, so when Ebby is 10, okay, I can give y'all the real. Let's break it down, okay? Let's get into the nitty motherfucking gritty. When Ebby was 10, she heard a gunshot and then time stopped. And then she saw her brother Baz lying on the floor surrounded by the shattered pieces of a centuries-old jar. Life as Ebby knew was shattered as well, okay? So the crime, it was never solved, and because the Freemans were one of the only black families in a particularly well-to-do enclave of New England, the case has had an enduring voyeuristic pull for the public. So people have always looked at her like, oh, not only are they the only black family really around here, that tragedy happened, and like, so it's always some shit like, I don't know what's going on with them people. And so she's lived her life, you know, in the shadow of her brother's death. She's lived her life in the shadow of her family because, you know, they're very well-to-do, one of the few black families in this area. So, you know, in order to be seen as equal, you got to be 10 times better just to, you know, please all these people around you. I will say, reading this has reminded me of the type of writing or writer that Charmaine Wilkerson is, like her style of writing. In Black Cake, it was the same thing. happened. She likes to jump around a lot. You'll be here with Abby, da 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 da. Then out of nowhere, you'll do a flashback to 15 years ago. This is what happened between these three characters, which caused this event to happen, which made Abby be like this. And then you jump over here, and this happened with this character. So she jumps around a lot, and it can be a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but once the pieces start coming together, it makes so much sense, and you enjoy the ride, you enjoy the journey. Like, you have much more appreciation for the jumping around. And it's not like you have to wait to the complete end of the book for pieces to come together. They start to come together like as you go along. It's not just like you have to wait until the very end, because if that was the case, I don't believe I would be able to stick around. But when you do the jumping around, the pieces start to come together and you see this puzzle being completed, and it's just like, so I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my time. The book is split up into 3 or 4 parts, I do believe, and I just finished part 1. And right when that part ended, I was like, oh, okay, I think I see what's going on. I think I see what's happening. Yeah, it's 4 parts, and I just finished part 1. So I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying Good Dirt, and I can't wait to finish it. I'll give y'all a full review of that in my next video, and we'll see, everything that happens. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a book I've seen a lot of people talk about. This is a book that I tried to read earlier this year, but I DNF'd it. I think I just wasn't in the mood for it. I enjoyed that book. It was good. I listened to the audiobook for this. The male narrator, top tier. Did amazing. The other narrator was good as well. I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm not, dismissing her talents. But the male narrator was very charismatic, and just it was like the words jumped off the page as he was performing, and it was amazing. It was top tier. He did an incredible job bringing the characters to life, and I just fully enjoyed when he was speaking. And overall, the story is really good. I enjoyed it. It's a cute, fun little story. At first, I was like, I don't really give a fuck about this. I don't give a damn the first time I read it. So if you don't know what it's about, this girl is reading this Reddit post, all right? It's called Am I the Asshole? We've all heard of those. And so this guy is describing something that happened about how he named his dog after his best friend because his best friend got with this girl that he used to date, but he didn't really care about that, I don't think. Because every time he dates someone, it doesn't last, and then the next person that person dates ends up being their forever person. And so this girl reads the post, and she's like, oh, same thing happens to me. Every time I date a guy, we end up breaking up, and then the next person, he proposes to her, they get married. So they decide to come together and be like, hey, since we have this curse, and people keep finding the love of their life after they date us, we could date each other, and we cancel out the curse, and then the next person we date, it would be the love of our life. So as you could assume, they get together and, they try to get this whole curse thing dealt with, and they end up falling for each other. But she has trauma because she has a mom that didn't really give a damn about her and was here and there and everywhere, but except with her. And then he's dealing with issues with his mom and his younger siblings, having to step up and, take care of them. And they're both like in their late 20s. So it's like still very young people who have their whole lives ahead of them, but it's too much baggage they've had in their lives to be such young people at like only 29 years old. And so it was cool. I enjoyed the story. Yeah. So for me, I've had a great reading month. I haven't read a lot in December, but the books that I have read, amazing. Isaac Song, top tier, best book I've read all year. Like I'm calling it now. I don't care what comes next. I'm calling it now. Isaac Song and Good Dirt, once I finish that, they might be tired. They might be motherfucking tired for the best books I've read all year. And Just for the Summer was good as well. Hey, I'm a happy motherfucking camper. I'm a happy motherfucking camper over here. And yeah, that's all I've read so far. I'm just happy to have read some good books because it's been a motherfucking struggle. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Even if you didn't enjoy it, still give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that people are enjoying the Desmond Z videos, and maybe the algorithm will push my videos more. Let me know what has been the best book for you so far in 2024? Do that, okay? And I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.